For this video, I will be focusing on Cohen's theory about status frustration. Cohen's theory is much like Merton's, except the only difference is that Cohen focuses on the social status of individuals. Cohen focuses on the social aspect of it all, while Merton focuses on the success and goals of an individual, which will in turn benefit them economically and academically. Cohen highlights the parts of an individual's life that Merton doesn't focus on. He questions why juveniles commit crimes that don't benefit them academically or economically. What Cohen emphasizes is how lower-class juveniles who attend schools seem to have to compete with middle-class individuals for a certain status. Schools will cater to the success of middle-class individuals by providing expensive field trips, encouraging goals like attending college, and aspirations of becoming doctors, scientists, astronauts, and jobs of the like. Lower-class individuals get put into these schools and don't receive the opportunities that middle-class individuals get to receive, like better education or better opportunities. They almost give up in a way and kind of accept they won't receive these benefits, so they experience what Cohen called status frustration. This status frustration happens when they cannot meet the expectations the school has placed on them, so in turn they create their own statuses in the gangs that they join. Because they cannot climb up in school, they will do so in gangs. Anything bad and deviant will get you a higher status. All the good behavior and actions accepted by society will give you a lower status. While in school they'll have what Cohen considers low status, in the outside world and in the gangs they're in, they'll have a higher status. Some examples where Cohen's status frustration theory can be applied to is Latrell from On My Block. The series focuses on a friend group from quote-unquote the hood. Caesar, who is a part of the friend group, and his gang, the Santos, have rivalry with Latrell and his gang, the Prophets. During a quinceañera, Latrell shoots two friends from the group. Unlike Latrell, Caesar, although a part of a gang, was academically successful and would get straight A's. Later in the show, Latrell shows a bit of vulnerability when the person he shot visits him in jail. They reminisce on a birthday party when they went to as children when they were friends. Latrell was never academically successful and didn't abide by the standards society had implemented for middle and upper class. He didn't have a status in school, so he created a status for himself when he shot his ex-friend. By committing this crime in front of people, he showed his gang that he has the ability to have a high status. While we see this in TV shows and movies, one of the biggest critics that Cohen received for his status frustration theory is that it doesn't have adequate support. While Cohen argues that juveniles commit crime to gain a status, there's actually no evidence to support his theory. His theory can be applied in TV shows, but in the real world, there's not much evidence that actually does. Because he suggests the issue arises from poverty, there's a lot of counter-argument to that, and we can see this in real life. Many students coming from poverty actually apply themselves to school and wish and hope they can achieve the dreams of making it out and getting out of poverty. The rags to riches story, if you will, many artists can relate to. Poverty doesn't necessarily mean the individual will not be able to achieve a status in a middle-class favored society. While they will have a hard start and sometimes have to get opportunities by themselves that middle-class individuals get handed to them, this doesn't mean that they cannot achieve the same things their middle-class peers do. I particularly like this theory because although it doesn't have enough evidence to support it, it is a very common theme that we can see in movies and TV shows, and it is one that could make sense if we were able to see this in the real world. I can see the complexity of this theory, and it is a very interesting theory to study and see if it can be applied.